On November 20th, 2000, the UN General Assembly voted to adopt a resolution demanding a comprehensive approach to missiles that would contribute to international peace and security. Around that time, amidst concerns about the destabilizing nature of missile defense, the loss of the ABM Treaty, and growing international tensions, the International Network of Engineers and Scientists Against Proliferation produced a report called Beyond Missile Defense. It was launched in October 2002 and made a number of recommendations to develop a verifiable global treaty to ban the development, testing, proliferation and acquisition of missiles, and it was forwarded to the UN General Assembly. However, since then there has been little or no action towards controlling missiles and missile defense systems, and instead we have seen them proliferate on a global scale. Therefore, in the summer of 2016, the International Network of Engineers and Scientists organised a new international working group, headed by Subrata Ghosh to study recent developments in missile defence and space weapons and their impact on strategic stability. Thanks to some initial funding from Abolition 2000, this second report was produced, with 16 chapters by 11 authors from 8 different countries. It was launched on 16th of October 2021 at the IPB Congress in Barcelona and highlighted the problems associated with the development of missile defense and anti-satellite systems and further developments in military space technology. The report also concluded with the following warning and steps needed to prevent an arms race in space. We urgently warn against a dangerous situation developing in the further militarization of outer space and the testing of anti-satellite weapons. Several types of space weapon are currently being developed, including signal jammers, direct energy weapons, kinetic energy weapons, and co-orbiting satellites. The most dramatic demonstrations have been those of kinetic energy weapons, which have been tested by China, the US, India, and Russia to destroy a satellite by direct impact. Each of these has resulted in numerous amounts of space debris that orbit the Earth and present dangerous encounters with existing space systems, including the International Space Station. Because reducing space debris is in the interest of all, and because these forms of anti-satellite system are also deployed as missile defense systems, as shown here, the second recommendation is we strongly recommend that attention should be focused on banning both missile defense and anti-satellite systems globally. It's also recognized that the deployment of missile defense systems in Europe, close to the eastern borders with Russia and threatening its deterrence systems, is dangerously destabilizing. And so, we demand an immediate halt to the deployment of missile defense systems in Europe and the removal of existing systems. Similarly, in the Pacific region, US missile defense and other military systems deployed in South Korea, Japan, and Guam, together with the presence of US NATO forces in the region, can be seen as military encirclement of Russia and China. As a result of the international tensions caused by these activities and the recent developments in missile systems, we recommend that the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty between the US and Russia be revived immediately and discussions towards achieving a multilateral treaty be vigorously and seriously pursued. A whole range of missile deployments were eliminated by this treaty in 1987, and since the US withdrawal in 2019, there has been a great deal of concern about the development of short and medium range missiles in Eastern and Western Europe. As a step towards reducing these concerns, we resolutely support moves to create nuclear weapon-free zones in Europe and the Middle East. The existing nuclear weapon-free zones, and especially those that together make the whole of the Southern Hemisphere a nuclear weapon-free area, are extremely important, However, the treaties that established those areas are under threat of being devalued and ignored when they should be strengthened and expanded. Any move to defuse tensions created by the deployment of missiles and missile defence systems is to be supported, and one positive development in the Pacific region is of note. We welcome Japan's decision not to proceed with the procurement of the Aegis Ashore missile defence system and urge Japan to sign and ratify the TPNW. As the only nation on Earth to have suffered first-hand from the use of nuclear weapons, the Japanese people realise the importance of treaties and agreements to abolish nuclear weapons and make them illegal. A considerable amount of public pressure came to bear on the Japanese government, who were considering whether to deploy Aegis Ashore and missile defence components in the Yamaguchi and Akita prefectures. Eventually, in June 2020, it was announced that they had decided to cancel the deployment plans. We so urgently need more positive steps such as this, and we need governments with the foresight, commitment and courage to carry them out.